Everybody knows that the dice are loaded. Everybody rolls with their fingers crossed.
Hey guys, I was having a good discussion with a good friend of mine. He goes on the YouTube site by Just Some Dude. He is about to start his first batch of mead, and he had a couple of questions, and one of them was the Red Star Champagne package that holds the yeast that he was about to use said makes 5 gallons. So he asked me, since I'm only doing a 1 gallon batch, do I just need to pour a little bit in and save the rest? Will the rest keep? That sort of stuff. Really logical question. And I explained to him what the answer was, basically. But it also occurred to me that you guys are probably going to run into the same situation. So I want to try to lay it out for you guys and show you a cool little trick that'll help. Everybody saw the Red Star Champagne yeast that was on the Super Simple Winemaking. I'm going to show you this new yeast vial that I got. I got this from the local homebrew shop, and it's White Labs, I'm not sure what you can read there, sweet mead yeast. And this is, they call it, it's a liquid yeast instead of the dried yeast. It's pitchable, which means you can just throw it right into your batch. You don't have to to mix it or rehydrate it or anything like that like you normally do. It's I guess you could argue that it's a higher quality yeast because it's liquid. The big difference here is that little bitty packet that I showed you earlier made 5 gallons. This also, according to the directions, makes 5 gallons. That little package was under $1. This was like $7.50. And especially if you're going to pay for shipping on something like this, because it's got to be refrigerated, this can get really expensive if you have to mail order it. But to go back and tie this together, to answer my friend's question, you don't really, yeast is not like an ingredient that you add like flour or sugar to make a pie. Yeast is an organism. You need to grow the organism, and you take that the organism and you basically infect your batch of wine with yeast. So really, as long as you can keep growing the organism, you can keep using it over and over and over again. So I'm going to show you a little trick that means you will only ever have to buy one of these or one of the little packages, and you can keep going over and over again. So I've actually used this once already on some other stuff. That's actually grape juice mixed in there with the yeast, and I'm going to show you a neat little trick you can do. Okay, so here's basically what we're going to do. We're going to take these little yeasty beasties that you order that are $7.50 a vial, and we're going to farm our own so that you can use them over and over and over again. You need one of these, or the Red Star yeast, it doesn't matter. The sweet mead yeast is supposed to be a little bit better for mead making. This is my first time trying it, so I really don't know. But I'm going to culture it because I'm not paying $7.50 per batch for this anymore. So, you need this. You will need something like this. This is regular Welch's grape juice. You will need a container of some sort for this. I am going to use this little, it's a little flip top bottle. A lot of homebrewers use this. I think they're called Grolsch bottles for some reason. Maybe because that's the beer that comes in them. I don't know. Might need a funnel. These come in handy. And if you don't have something cool and nifty like this, this will work just as well. It's a regular screw Tupperware little bowl thing, or a Pepsi bottle. That'll work too. Alright, so basically what we're going to do is boom, pour your yeast into your vessel, and go ahead and keep this, because if you have a buddy you want to send some yeast home with, use this. Alright, I'm going to now take the juice, and we're basically going to feed the yeast in here. Going to fill this almost all the way up. There we go. That's plenty. Now, we're basically making wine in the bottle. Here's what we're going to do. Yeast need 70 degrees or so, 60 they can start out with, to really do their thing. We're going to slow it down. Put this in the refrigerator, leave the bottle or the top on it, and just let it sit there. Pop it every couple of weeks. Just open the top and let any pressure that comes in, and they're going to grow. And you can basically grow them indefinitely. About once a month, what I'll do is I'll pour out most of the juice. They're still going to be alive in there. I'll pour it out, and then I'll pour fresh juice in, fresh sugar. And anytime I start a batch, I will just drop a couple of tablespoons will work fine for this. You just want to make sure you shake it up really well of this stuff in there, and it's going to have the live yeast. That way, you never have to buy another one of these again, unless you just want the cool little tubes to play with. That's making your own yeast culture, and if you're going to have a couple of different varieties, there are hundreds of varieties of yeast that you want to play around with. You might want to label these. Right now I've only got one, and I've got the champagne yeast. The champagne yeast is cheap enough. I'll just buy a new package, and they keep pretty much indefinitely in the fridge. But the 750 a pop, I'm culturing my own. That's really all you need to know. If anybody has any questions, feel free to give me a buzz. I will be happy to answer them. You guys have a great day.